And, of course, one of those guys that we definitely have seen throughout the season for Mount Horeb is Owen Ziegler, coming into this one averaging 13 points per game. Unofficially 5.5 assists. But just the way he's able to distribute the basketball and create shots for his teammates is why the Vikings found themselves success in that Waunakee game and have been able to compete all season.
You know, and that's another thing, Kay, that you say is that the Vikings are led by a number of senior leaders who have really brought to the floor and to the team their leadership and their athletic ability. And we see that in this first half of the season so far, but I don't think it necessarily reflects on the record necessarily. Like I said, there was a tough loss at Sauk, and there is a tough loss at Reedsburg as well. So a couple tough road losses for the Vikings, but a lot of these senior leaders have had some pretty successful and impressive individual performances along the way. Now for the rest of this team, a little bit of bench performance, get some performance from player number 6, 7, and 8, and I think the Vikings have a really good shot against Badger Conference North leaders DeForest.
And DeForest in a similar spot with the Vikings, with returning only one starter in senior guard Trey Schrader. Big part of that team last year that finished second in conference to Mount Horeb. The senior captain for this Norski's team, who they'll rely on to, pretty much a similar role as Owen Ziegler, run the point, try to create shots for his teammates, and then obviously when necessary can score the ball as well. We saw him in a combination with that very talented lineup last year, who the Vikings ended up defeating 3 times in last season.
And Kate, as we were saying a little earlier too, the Vikings are looking forward to a second half of their season, maybe have some rematches on some Badger North opponents. But one of the things that I don't think we've mentioned so far is the rescheduling of the North Shore Challenge, which was originally was supposed to be the 9th or the 9th or the 10th. It was a couple days prior to tonight's game, and was supposed to be a matchup between the North Shore Conference and the Badger North Conference, hosted in Beaver Dam. That got rescheduled. And Kate, we were talking about this before the pregame show, was the placement of that game now is going to really affect how the Vikings play in the second half of their season. That's the second to last game now on this Vikings schedule, which puts a non-conference game right at the end of a pretty tough conference lineup for these Vikings.
And that's one thing Coach Nessheim has always done a nice job of, especially over the past few years with the success his program has been having, is scheduling those tough non-conference games. Obviously, you might lose some of them, and then your record won't be as good coming into a seeding meeting, but the experience that you get from playing these top-notch teams is really key when it comes playoff time. I think with that, we'll step aside for our second break of the Wisco Radio pregame show. Come back, get ready for starting lineups in the national anthem. Thank you for tuning in to Wisco Radio. We'll be right back.
It's an exciting time to work at Land's End in Dodgeville. Our distribution and call centers are hiring for first and second shift holiday part-time jobs. We offer flexible schedules in a variety of positions. Plus, you'll get access to our amazing employee discount, on-site clinic, and fitness center, and so much more. Starting wage is $13.25 to $14.25 an hour, with premium wages up to $21.38 per hour for select peak dates. In addition, we offer weekend and evening premium pay. Apply today at landsend.com/jobs. That's landsend.com/jobs.
Did you know that one of the top global providers of 3D printing and additive manufacturing services is located right here just outside of Mount Horeb? Since 2001, Midwest Prototyping has been creating parts and prototypes for companies worldwide. To learn more, visit MidwestProto.com. Midwest Prototyping proudly supports Mount Horeb students through internships, technical education programs, and athletics. Go Vikings!
The Grand Stay Hotel and Suites is a brand new hotel in Mount Horeb. The Grand Stay caters to business and leisure travelers and is ideal for individuals and families. In a convenient location near Madison, Grand Stay is also a great option for guests visiting neighboring Barneveld or Epic Systems in Verona. We offer clean, comfortable rooms, free hot breakfast, an indoor pool, hot tub, and a 24-hour fitness center. To see pictures, visit grandstaymount.horeb.com, book online, or call 608-437-5200 to make your reservation today.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
When the stadium lights go on, you know it's time for Mount Horeb Barneville football, and that's where you'll find Mark Norman and Associates. As a parent and local business owner, Mark knows the importance of supporting high school athletics, the athletic program, and Mount Horeb Barneville football. Mark Norman and Associates also knows the importance of buying or selling your property. At First Weber of Mount Horeb, Mark Norman and Associates want to help you find the perfect home in the area, whether it be in the town or in the country. For the expertise and the experience you need, call 608-575-3393 or visit them online, marknortman.firstweber.com.
You are listening to the Mount Horeb Vikings on Wisco Radio.
Welcome back to Mount Horeb High School. Cade Johnson alongside Blaine Bestel here at your Wisco Radio pregame show. About 3 minutes until the national anthem. Looking a little bit more at this DeForest team. Obviously, we mentioned their senior guard, Trey Schrader, but a team similar to Mount Horeb, very deep in terms of production across their starting lineup, and even some guys off the bench that contribute to this overall team. One of those, son of head coach Max Weisbrod, the leading scorer for the Norskis, 6'1" sophomore, averaging 13.6 points per game. Saw a little bit of him last year in his freshman season, but stepped into a little bit of a bigger role now as the leading scorer for the Norskis. So the Vikings will have to look to limit him in order to come away with this victory. And overall, talking to some of the guys and looking at some of the film on DeForest, they're a team that really likes to push the ball in transition and get those quick baskets off of fast breaks, averaging 66.6 points per game. Compared to Mount Horeb's 53.8, so a little bit more of an up-tempo style team, whereas you see Mount Horeb likes to run their half-court offense and get buckets through offense. So that'll be another thing to see what kind of tempo this game is, and I think if the Vikings are able to force them into the half-court, they should have some nice success on defense. Also, another thing that stood out just from looking at the two respective rosters is a size advantage in terms of height for DeForest. Colby Hardig, 6'4", senior, averaging 9.5 points per game for the Norskis. And then Nolan Hawk, 6'5", sophomore, averaging 7.8 points per game. So a Norski team that's been historically always had a couple of big guys. Even go back to when Mount Horeb went on their state run, Chris Knight, 6'6", on that team. And then, of course, last year, Austin Wester, the Badger North Conference Player of the Year, was a 6'6" forward as well. So, as we mentioned, a Norski team that always has some size at the forward and center spot. As we're approaching the national anthem, we'll step aside. Coming back, we'll have starting lineups and then the tip-off for Badger North Conference boys basketball. You've been listening to Wisco Radio. We'll be right back.
Farmers Savings Bank is proud of their community banking tradition. Farmers Savings Bank is committed to providing a high level of customer service and products to enhance the well-being of the communities they serve. Whether it is for a home, farm, land, or business loan, Farmers Savings Bank has money to lend. Be sure to call your local Mount Horeb Farmers Savings Bank today at 437-2265. Farmers Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Can't make it to the game? Catch it live on WiscoRadio.com or download our mobile app on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Dr. Steven Samuelson and Lauren Ta are your local eye care professionals. Any time of year is a great time to schedule your optical exam and your eye care needs. Clear vision starts with healthy eyes, so contact Samuelson Eye Care, 437-3377, to schedule your eye exam today. 437-3377. You'll be glad you did.
You are listening to Wisco Radio.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp. Get started with your idea. Call for free information.
Call 1-800-461-2844. That's 1-800-461-2844.
Find all previous stats, replays of past games, and weekly podcasts covering all Vikings athletic action by going to wiscoradio.com and clicking under the Archives podcast tab.
Welcome back to Mount Horeb High School. PA announcer Sean Johnson ready to announce the starting lineups for both teams. And we're about ready to get underway for an all-important Badger North Conference matchup. Obviously a rivalry that is usually a tough competition year in and year out. Starters for the Norskis: Jail Bonds, number 1. Number 2, Weisbrod. Number 10, Trey Schrader. Number 45, Colby Hardig. And number 23, Devin Magley. For the Vikings, the leading scorer, Torin Hanna. Number 5. Number 10, Tyler Banfield at the guard spot. Ray Wooler, the sophomore. Carter Jilks, we talked about his big performance against Wanakee, the senior. And Owen Ziegler rounds out the starting lineups for Mount Horeb. 18 minutes on the clock. And should be an exciting matchup. As we mentioned in the pregame show, two similar teams, each only returning one starter. Norski's returning Schrader and the Vikings Owen Ziegler. Two teams finishing first and second in the conference last year, and Mount Horeb ended the Norski's season in the sectional semifinal at Baraboo. So maybe a little bit of a revenge game as the Norski's control the tip. Weisbrod will run the point for the Norski's. Skipped over. Here's Bonds from 3. Up and good. Norski's take a quick 3-0 lead as Bonds plays the air guitar after that three-pointer. Wooler now on the wing, looking inside to Jilks. We'll get it to him in the high post, looking for Hanna on the back cut. Something Vikings like to look for a lot is a lot of backdoor cuts. Owen Ziegler and Tora Hanna have had a nice two-man connection on those this year. Jilks will drive baseline now. Banfield from the top of the key, 3-ball up, no good. Norski's control the rebound. Weisbrod will push. Schrader back to Weisbrod, working on Hanna. Over back to Schrader. Weisbrod will try a 3. Up and good. 6-0 lead for DeForest. 16:50 left in the first half. Shooting it well to start this one. Banfield over to Wooler. Now Ziegler will set it up. Guarded by Schrader. Banfield looking to get something on Bonds. Solid man-to-man defensive performance here on this possession for the Norski's. Ziegler over to Wooler, who drives, and they'll get a jump ball possession, Mount Horeb.
Yeah, tough start for these Vikings, Cade. 6-0. DeForest about 2 minutes down. Bonds, Weisbrod, both with quick threes.
Vikings going to look to get it to Ziegler on the inbound. They do. Carter Jilk's going to be guarded a little bit closer this game than we've seen after his 7 3-pointer performance. Actually, second place in Division II for three-point percentage in that state shootout, as Ziegler's good from 3. 6-3 now the score. Owen Ziegler gets the Vikings on the board. Makes it a one-possession game. Weisbrod, baseline attack, skips it over to Schrader, corner 3. No good. Loose ball up for grabs. I believe that's Magley on the rebound. That it is. Now Bonds from 3 from the corner. He's got it. Timeout. Nessheim and the Vikings did not like what he sees there. 9-3, the Norskies lead it with 15:34 left in the first half. We'll see you after the break.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoyed the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
You're listening to Wisco Radio, the leader in Mount Horeb Prep Athletics.
Welcome back to Wisco Radio. Quick timeout for the Vikings now on the attack. Hanna with the pump fake, went up for it, and unsuccessful. Now Weisbrod will push for the Norskies. Has it at the top of the key, guarded by Wooler. Here's Hardig, guarded by Jilks. Hardig skip over to Weisbrod. Bonds in the corner. Back to Weisbrod on top. Weisbrod fakes the handoff and goes up for 2. No good. Rebound Hardig. He'll go up and finish through the contact. Norskies out to an 11-3 lead with 14:52 left in the first half. Banfield now for the Vikings. Give it off to Ziegler. Ziegler will try from 3. Short. Rebound Hanna. Hanna goes up. No call on the floor. And will now have to get back. Loose ball picked up by Hanna. He'll have an easy score. Misses the dunk. Went for the dunk. Unsuccessful. And now a backdoor cut for the Norskies. Put them up 13-3. Crazy series of events there. Loose ball poked out to Hanna, who was still getting back after he was knocked over on the previous possession, had the fast break layup, went for the dunk, and couldn't get it to go. Now to Ziegler in the post, working on Schrader. Over to Wooler, mid-range shot, rattles home. Vikings able to stop the run, make it a 13-5 ball game. Here's Weisbrod driving baseline on Hanna, knocked away by and stolen away by Tyler Banfield. Vikings now pushing. Here's Ziegler. Senior on senior matchup. Wooler from the corner. Got it from 3. Hand down, man down, says Ray Wooler. Puts the Vikings within 5. Max Weisbrod will swing it over to Schrader in the corner. Hardig now on top. Here's Weisbrod. He'll pull from 3. No good. And on push in the back call on Magley gives the Vikings possession.
Little substitution action here for the Vikings, and actually all 3 of them stepping on the floor. The players we were talking about earlier, Reese Rick, Anthony Lang, and Charlie Fish stepping onto the floor. And Hanna is getting an earful from Coach Nessheim about that missed dunk.
As you mentioned, the injuries, both Rick, Charlie Fish, and Ethan Post all suffering injuries during the football season and still carrying over to basketball as Ziegler has it on top. Good to see them back. Hopefully Ethan Post will be back soon. Back cutting Fish. Ziegler found him. Fish unable to come up with a successful, and there's a pile up as now the Norskis have the numbers. Down low in the post, fadeaway, and one. They'll get Ziegler for the foul. Not quite sure. Rarely do you see the foul call on the fadeaway there when the defender is straight up. Nonetheless, and one opportunity for the sophomore Magley. Airballs his free throw attempt. And the student section says the ball doesn't lie. 15-8 your score. Anthony Lang newly into the game now running the point for the Vikings. They'll get it to Ziegler on the high post. Ziegler being doubled, finds Fish underneath, who goes up, drawing the foul, go to the line and shoot two. Nice pass there from Owen Ziegler. Felt the double team and found an open Fish.
We're going to see Charlie Fish at the line here. First time for the Vikings, 15-8. Vikings trailing. First one up for Fish, no good. 12 minutes left to go here in the first half for the Vikings. I'll tell you right now, Cade, as Caden Thomas now steps in for Carter, I'll tell you right now, Cade, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. It's so far a hotly contested game.
The difference in this one has been the Norskis' success from the three-point line. 2-1 foul difference. Norskis have 2 team fouls. Vikings have 1 as Fish converts 1 of 2, making it 15-9. But Norskis have been hot from the three-point line to start, and that's why they find themselves up 6. Skip pass over to Weisbrod, driving baseline on Lang, and they'll call a hand check on the sophomore Anthony Lang.
Hard to tell from this angle, since it's happened on the opposite side of the court, whether or not there actually was a little bit of hand check, but the far official on the half-court stripe made a far run down, and now we're going to get an offensive foul. Looks like to be on Nolan Hawk.
A legal screen on Hawk. Sophomore forward averaging 7.8 points per game, newly into the game for the Norskis.
And that's his second foul of the half and of the game. Only 11 minutes left to go in the first, so he'll most likely be sitting for the rest of the half.
Fish will give it over to Rick. Now Ziegler in the corner, looking to drive. Back to Fish on the wing, working on Krieger. Find Thomas. Thomas will draw the foul as he was looking to get to the lane there. That'll be Jack Krieger, the 6'1 senior, on the foul. As Ziegler checks out, Hannah back in for the Vikings.
And, Cade, that's 4 fouls for the DeForest Norskis right now. 11-16 left to go in this first half. So if DeForest has 11 minutes left of gameplay in this first half alone, and they commit foul number 5 of this half, they need to play some conservative basketball here. Otherwise, some of their players are going to be in some pretty serious trouble coming into the second half.
Foul on Weisbrod, as you mentioned, 5th team foul on the Norskis, and still 11 minutes left to play in this first half. 15-9, DeForest leading Mount Horeb. Rick picked up his dribble, and they'll get the 3-second call. Will Rick picked up his dribble in the lane, cannot find any open teammates. Tough turnover there for the Vikings. Vikings in their usual pack line, man-to-man defense. We always see that. Back cut here for Schrader. Couldn't quite find a open look here. Here's Weisbrod working on Lang. Lang knocks it away initially. Now the Norskis will have to reset their offense. Here's Schrader. We'll get the screen. Vikings recover well, and Schrader throws it away.
And a timeout there for DeForest. We're going to take a quick break, but I have a couple thoughts on that last play when we come back. Vikings trailing 15-9 in the first half.
When the stadium lights go on, you know it's time for Mount Horeb Barneville football, and that's where you'll find Mark Norman and Associates. As a parent and local business owner, Mark knows the importance of supporting high school athletics, the athletic program, and Mount Horeb Barneville football. Mark Norman and Associates also knows the importance of buying or selling your property. At First Weber of Mount Horeb, Mark Norman and Associates want to help you find the perfect home in the area, whether it be in the town or in the country. For the expertise and the experience you need, call 608-575-3393 or visit them online, marknorman.firstweber.com.
Can't make it to the game? Catch it live on WiscoRadio.com or download our mobile app on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
Welcome back to Wisco Radio. Going back to that last play, Blaine, what did you see there on that turnover?
Well, Vikings forced a turnover on defense, and I think the key to that one was Charlie Fish. Fantastic work switching back on those screens, keeping DeForest on their toes, and forcing them to really look at where they're throwing the ball. And Charlie took away a lot of those options when he was switching back on those screens, and great defensive work as well by Anthony Lang to kind of get and swat the ball away.
Vikings run a nice play, get Hannah on a backdoor cut. Nice find from Lang. Basket for Mount Horeb. Cut this to a 4-point game, 15-11 they trail. Just over 10 minutes left in the first half. Bonds will have it now, swings it over to Weisbrod, being guarded by Hannah. Both teams' leading scorers matched up on each other. Ziegler back into the game for Mount Horeb, in for Charlie Fish. No good on the 3-ball. Rebound Hardig, tipped out. Rebound Bonds again. He'll go up and one. Count the basket. They'll call that on sophomore Caden Thomas. Third team foul on Mount Horeb. First personal for Thomas. Bonds at the line with a chance to convert on the 3-point play. He's successful. Now 9 points on the evening for the senior Bonds. Ziegler will bring it up for Mount Horeb. Here's Wooler driving left over to Lang. Now Hannah in the corner looking for Thomas down low. Can't find him. We'll swing it over to Wooler. Over to Lang. Thomas on top, drives. Hannah on Magley. Spin move up and can't quite get it to fall. And now rebound Norski. Foul on Hannah. Both going for that offensive rebound. First personal on Hannah. Nice move there by the junior. Just couldn't quite get the basket to fall. Bonds now down low working on Lang. Goes up. Great defense there by the undersized Lang, forcing the miss. Loose ball picked up by Lang. He'll push. Here's Wooler. 2-on-1 situation and well defended there. Gets Norski's now on a 3-on-1 and a nice dish and score. Hardig for two. 20-11 now. The Norskis lead the Vikings. 8:50 left in the first half.
Where it really comes, Cade, is offensive rebounds for DeForest is absolutely completely making this a game changer for them on their side of the court. And especially Colby Hardig down low. While he only has 4 points on the stat sheet so far, he's making an absolute game changer by creating some space down low in the post so Bonds, for example, can come down, get an easy rebound and an and one, which we saw about 2 plays ago. So that's completely game-changing for DeForest right now. And for the Vikings, just simple boxing out can resolve that. And I'm sure, I guarantee you, as playing under Coach Nessheim previously, I guarantee you that is something that he'll be talking about come halftime.
Yeah, rebound's an important key that the Vikings focus on every game. And Ziegler from deep couldn't quite get it to fall. Secured by Krieger on the rebound. But, yeah, you mentioned boxing out, always a key thing. And even crashing the offensive glass is something the Vikings like to do. Norski's now have it. Here's Schrader, guarded by former AAU teammate Charlie Fish. Skips it into the corner. 3-pointer up, and they'll call a foul on Hardig, I believe, down low. On Hardig, so a 1-and-1 situation for the Vikings, as that's now the 7th team foul. And you mentioned the Vikings need to do a little bit better job of boxing out. Charlie, actually they'll get Ray Wooler to be the one who drew the foul. Did a good job of boxing out the bigger Hardig. Wooler's first free throw, or potential first free throw, up and good. He'll now get another as Jokes checks back in for Thomas. But You mentioned Hardig, a key part of that DeForest Norski's football team that ended up winning Division III state football. An impressive season for them. And another key part of that, Trey Schrader won the game with a jump pass on the 2-point conversion to capture the state title. Schrader will bring it up as Wooler converts on his second free throw. 20-13 your score, 8:15 left in the first half. Krieger guarded by Ziegler. Nearly knocked away by Wooler. In the corner. Now Schrader will have it back on top. Looking down low to Hardig. Hardig working on Wooler. Go up with the right and banks it home. Hardig gets the 2 points. Extends the lead to 9. Charlie Fish. Give it off to Jilks. Jilks looking to drive baseline. Senses the help coming from Hardig and will dump it down to Wooler. Wooler back to Jilks on the cut. Jilks up and good for 2. Nice little 2-man game there between Wooler and Jilks. Gets the Vikings a basket. Down low to Hardig again. Going with a little bit of a size advantage are the Norskis, and he goes up and good for 2. Messheim subbing in to Reese Rick. Now at the scores table, try to get a little bit bigger body on Hardig down low. Fish. Over to Jilks. Now Jilks on the attack. Back to Fish. And Ziegler will reset things. Guarded by Schrader. Ziegler got to the lane. Finds Wooler at the free throw line. Shot up, no good. Rebound. Schrader who had it and walked with it.
And that's a fantastic call. It's actually, Kate, that for us happened right in front of us there. And that was a fantastic call because you saw Charlie Fish swat at the ball, 100% ball there. Forces the Norskis to fall on the floor, and that's a travel. Craig Weisbrod, head coach for the Norskis, not a huge fan, but a turnover nonetheless for DeForest.
Banfield will inbound it to Rick in the post. Double coming from behind, and Bonds poked it away. Another turnover for Mount Horeb has the Norskis in transition. Here's Weisbrod, guarded by Ziegler. Bonds at the top. Will now swing it over, skip pass. Weisbrod will look to go baseline. We've seen him do that a lot tonight. Will dump it down, and it'll be Winters who gets it and draws the foul. 5th team foul for Mount Horeb. And Coach Nessheim not liking what he sees once again. He'll take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 24-15, the Norskis lead. Mount Horeb, 6:29 left in the first half.
The Grand Stay Hotel and Suites is a brand new hotel in Mount Horeb. The Grand Stay caters to business and leisure travelers and is ideal for individuals and families. In a convenient location near Madison, Grand Stay is also a great option for guests visiting neighboring Barneveld or Epic Systems in Verona. We offer clean, comfortable rooms, free hot breakfast, an indoor pool, hot tub, and a 24-hour fitness center. To see pictures, visit grandstaymount.horeb.com, book online, or call 608-437-5200 to make your reservation today.
You're listening to Wisco Radio, the leader in Mount Horeb Prep Athletics.
Welcome back to Mount Horeb High School. 24-15. DeForest leading Mount Horeb in the first half. Last foul, second personal on Owen Ziegler, so he'll have to be careful to not pick up his third. Coach Nessheim electing to leave him in the game. Personally, I like that decision with IQ, basketball IQ overall of Ziegler. He'll know not to do anything to get that third foul.
Absolutely, and especially with 6:29 left to go here in this first half. He might not even be playing that entire 6:29 as the first shot from Winters is no good. He might not even be playing that entire 6:29, but for sure keeping him in, one of those undisputed leaders on this Vikings team, I think helps kind of settle the nerves on offense especially.
With Hardig coming out at that timeout, Wooler and Reese Rick swapping spots. Wooler coming back in. Vikings now. Banfield looking to drive baseline. Will kick it back out to Ziegler, who had it tipped away. Got his pass back. Skip it over to Wooler in the corner for 3. Got it. Ray Wooler from the corner again. 25-18 your score. Vikings still trail. Here's Weisbrod being guarded by Hanna. Hanna forces them to pick up his dribble. Now looking down low to Winters. Winters, skip pass. Weisbrod will give it back. Now in the corner, the Norskis will look to operate. Bonds trying to post up down low on Banfield. Now Winters working on Wooler. Shot up, no good, and loose ball grabbed by Ziegler. Now under 5:30 as Ziegler finds a cutting Banfield. Couldn't quite get it to fall, but draws the foul. Another exceptional pass there from Ziegler. And a nice cut from Banfield sends him to the line for 2 shots.
Foul for the Norskis on number 4, Jack Krieger. First shot up there for Banfield, no good. That's going to be Krieger's second foul. 25-18 score here in Mount Horeb. Vikings trailing, 5:24 left to go in the first.
Rick back into the game along with Hardig for the Norskis as Banfield unable to convert on either. And now Schrader looking to push. Skips it over to Weisbrod, who will walk with it. Unhappy with the call is Craig Weisbrod, father of Max Weisbrod. But nonetheless, it'll be Vikings ball. On the line, up the line, man-to-man defense for the Norskis. Vikings looking to get Ziegler an open basket there. Banfield with the moves. Got it up and good. Good work underneath by the guard, junior guard, Tyler Banfield. Vikings cut it to 5 again. Here's Weisbrod again, baseline on Hanna. Nearly walked with it again. Kick out 3. Grundle, no good. Ziegler will secure the rebound. And the Vikings have a chance to make it a one-possession game. Jokes over to Ziegler. Ziegler triple teamed. Skips it over to Banfield for 3. Nearly banked it home. Norskis will have the rebound, and they'll look to push once again. Schrader finds a back-cutting Hardig. They'll say foul on the floor. They'll get Reese Rick on that personal foul. Norskis now in the bonus on the next foul for Mount Horeb as they have 16 fouls. Norskis with 18 fouls, so Vikings not yet in the double bonus. Inbound to Hardig. Vikings switch the handoff. Schrader now working on Rick. Hardig will skip it over. Schrader will get it back. Working on Reese Rick again. Finds his way into the lane. The left-handed shot up, no good. Hardig secures the offensive board once again for the Norskis. Here's Schrader. Nicely defended there by Banfield. Norskis will have to reset.
For the Vikings, much better defense on the arc, making DeForest drive the basketball, but it's the amount of threes and the amount of offensive rebounds DeForest is getting is really going to hurt the Vikings in the long run.
Norskis will get the rebound once again, and now a foul call. Coach Todd Nessheim unhappy. Had a push-off on Schrader earlier, and then now that foul call is just the icing on the cake for his frustration on that penalty. Hardig will go to the line after drawing the foul on Rick and is successful on his first free throw. Tough break there for the Vikings. As you mentioned, Blaine, a well-defended possession. Just couldn't secure that rebound, and a couple of calls not going their way. Second free throw good for Hardig, 27-20. Mount Horeb trailing to the Norskis, 3:33 left in the first half. Banfield working on Weisbrod, had it poked away. Weisbrod now in transition. He'll go up and unsuccessful. Hardig gets a rebound again, puts it on the floor, and will go up for 2. And they'll they'll call a delay of game on the Norskis after, I believe, after that ball went through the net, tipped it kind of far away from where a official or Viking player could grab it. So warning on DeForest. But nonetheless, now back to a 9-point lead, 29-20. And the story of this one has just been the ability to get offensive rebounds. Here's Hannah on the drive, draw a foul. They're going to get a blocking call. Not sure if they're going to call this on the floor. Hannah will be going to the line nonetheless, but it's just a matter of whether it's 1-1 or 2. P announcer Sean Johnson says shooting 2, so we'll go with that.
We trust Sean around here, so we'll trust what he has to say.
No good on the first attempt for Hannah. Vikings have been struggling a little bit at the free throw line.
3 for 6 at this point. 3 for 7. At this point right now, Cade, pending one more from Hannah.
And they'll get a
violation.
Free throw lane violation on the Vikings. So Hannah got the second one to go, but will not count. 29-20 the score. Norski's ball. Weisbrod guarded by Hannah. He'll swing it over to Bonds. Simeon Smith now in the game for Mount Horeb will be the one to defend Bonds. Schrader over to Bonds in the corner. Down low to Hardig. Working on Fish. Shot up. No good. Vikings able to secure the rebound. Ziegler will control it for Mount Horeb. Ziegler working on Schrader. Backdoor cut. Anthony Lang. And the Vikings somehow able to hang on the ball that possession 2 times. They nearly lost it. Charlie Fish down low to Smith. Kick out. Hannah for 3. He's got it. Corner 3. Torin Hannah.
That's exactly what Hannah needed, to get a little bit of spark in his step. He's been relatively flat this entire first half. Not the Hannah that we're used to seeing. That's exactly what the Vikings needed right there.
Trying to get a post touch to Hardig are the Norskis, guarded by a little bit smaller Charlie Fish. And Fish had the swat from behind. Believe they're going to get that foul on him. They'll say a push from behind on Charlie Fish. Looked like a pretty nice block to me, but we're pretty far away from the action over here.
And luckily we have a beautiful video stream going, so those watching at home can toggle back a couple seconds on that YouTube stream as he misses the first free throw. That is Hardig. They can toggle a couple seconds back and watch for themselves and see what they think. But from our angle, as we said, it's kind of far away. It looked like it was a pretty well-placed swat, as the second is no good. Rebound by Fish.
29-23 the score, now under 2 minutes. A key 2 minutes for the Vikings. Be nice for them to get some momentum going in to the second half. Vikings running a set. Gets Simeon Smith on the backdoor cut. Goes up for 2. A nice finish from Smith. A nice pass from Ziegler. And a well-designed play from Nessheim, as now the Vikings bench getting into this one on defense. Student section as well. Try to get a stop here. Maybe get another basket before the end of the half. Schrader, skip pass over to Weisbrod in the corner. 2 leading scorers going at it. Hannah guarding Weisbrod. 2 leading scorers for each team. Now Schrader gets a screen from Hardig. Here's Bonds. He'll shoot from 3. No good. Ziegler with the rebound. Owen Ziegler initially thought he had the pull-up 3. Now Anthony Lang from the corner. In and out. Rebound Schrader. 45 seconds to play. Norskis have it. We'll see if they hold for 1. 35 seconds. I would imagine they will. Weisbrod's got it on top, and it looks like it's going to be a one shot to end the possession for DeForest. Here's Schrader on Anthony Lang. Got his defender up in the air. Now Weisbrod with 17 seconds. Hannah, 12, now 10. Screen from Harding. Weisbrot still working, finds a backdoor cutting Grandal for 2. 2 seconds, 1. Ziegler pull up from half court, and no good. Your halftime score, DeForest 31, Mount Horeb 25. Well executed play to end the half. With that, we'll step aside, hear a word from our sponsors, and come back with the Wisco Radio halftime report. Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast. We'll be right back.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
The Jared Nelson Agency is a proud supporter of Viking athletics. Known as the top farm insurer in Wisconsin, the Jared Nelson Agency is also your source for commercial, home, auto, and life insurance. Call 437-4020 or stop by the office at 211 West Main Street, Mount Horeb, to protect what matters most.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
This is Wisco Radio.
Are you in need of chiropractic services? Dr. Joe Ryan at Mount Horeb Chiropractic will provide the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. Dr. Ryan uses advanced spinal correction and chiropractic adjustments utilizing state-of-the-art techniques. Dr. Ryan has years of training, expertise, and experience in helping patients get relief from their back pain, neck pain, and other related conditions. Located at 1840 Business Highway 18151 next to Pizza Hut, or call 608-437-0099 to set up an appointment today.
You are listening to Vikings Basketball right here on Wisco Radio.
Farmers Savings Bank is proud of their community banking tradition. Farmers Savings Bank is committed to providing a high level of customer service and products to enhance the well-being of the communities they serve. Whether it is for a home, farm, land, or business loan, Farmers Savings Bank has money to lend. Be sure to call your local Mount Horeb Farmers Savings Bank today at 437-2265. Farmers Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Wisco Radio for photos, stats, the tip tracker, and much more.
Plain Wisconsin, the largest selection and the lowest prices on swing sets, basketball hoops, trampolines, backyard courts, sports training products, and much more. Try it first at Plain Wisconsin, Parmenter Street in Middleton, or plainwisconsin.com.
Did you know that one of the top global providers of 3D printing and additive manufacturing services is located right here just outside of Mount Horeb? Since 2001, Midwest Prototyping has been creating parts and prototypes for companies worldwide. To learn more, visit MidwestProto.com. Midwest Prototyping proudly supports Mount Horeb students through internships, technical education programs, and athletics. Go Vikings!
Plain Wisconsin is your local home court headquarters for everything basketball. From driveway hoops to indoor-outdoor home courts, find the perfect addition for your family. Visit PlayInWisconsin.com or stop by Wisconsin's only basketball showroom to see all the features before you buy. Try it first at Play in Wisconsin.
Wisco Radio, home of the Mount Horeb Vikings.
It's an exciting time to work at Land's End in Dodgeville. Our distribution and call centers are hiring for first and second shift holiday part-time jobs. We offer flexible schedules in a variety of positions. Plus, you'll get access to our amazing employee discount, on-site clinic, and fitness center, and so much more. Starting wage is $13.25 to $14.25 an hour, with premium wages up to $21.38 per hour for select peak dates. In addition, we offer weekend and evening premium pay. Apply today at landsend.com/jobs. That's landsend.com/jobs.
You're listening to Wisco Radio, the leader in Mount Horeb Prep Athletics.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
Find all previous stats, replays of past games, and weekly podcasts covering all Vikings athletic action by going to wiscoradio.com and clicking under the Archives podcast tab.
When the stadium lights go on, you know it's time for Mount Horeb Barneville football, and that's where you'll find Mark Norman and Associates. As a parent and local business owner, Mark knows the importance of supporting high school athletics, the athletic program, and Mount Horeb Barneville football. Mark Norman and Associates also knows the importance of buying or selling your property. At First Weber of Mount Horeb, Mark Norman and Associates want to help you find the perfect home in the area, whether it be in the town or in the country. For the expertise and the experience you need, call 608-575-3393 or visit them online, marknorman.firstweber.com.
Wisco Radio, home of the Mount Horeb Vikings.
Welcome to your Wisco Radio halftime report. Cade Johnson alongside Blaine Bestel, 31-25, your halftime score. And it was a back and forth first half. The story of this one, the offensive rebounding for the Norskis, it's really what's netted them this 6-point advantage. Both teams with 3 3-pointers apiece. And all other stats look relatively similar, but the Norskis really winning that rebounding battle down low. A big part of that is 6'4" senior Colby Hardig. Don't have his official count for offensive rebounds, but it's got to be upwards of 5, maybe 6 or 7. And just done a nice job down low getting the Norskis second chance points.
Yeah, Caden, that's what we were saying quite a bit throughout that first half, is that as you look down at Colby Hardig down low, he's getting these second chance opportunities for the Norskis, where as if the Vikings were to be able to go get those offensive rebounds, I honestly think you could reduce 8 points off that Norski scoreboard. Right now, Hardig has 12 on the evening, and a lot of that comes right back from those offensive rebounds. So being able to go down low, get those offensive rebounds, and then put them back up successfully is really, well, like we said before, Hardig right now has 12 for the Norski, so that's contributing to obviously more than the lead right now, and you're not going to completely wipe out his scoring by eliminating his offensive rebounds, but you know that's a huge part of it, and that's a huge part of what the Vikings I think need to do in the second half is, one, really start to force those turnovers even more than they did in the second half, reduce their own, and then eliminate the offensive rebounds for DeForest.
Yeah, and obviously being in that locker room over the past 2 years, Coach Nessheim's got to be fairly happy in terms of defensively with how his team has played. Other than, as you mentioned, the second chance points. There are a couple of 3-pointers that looks that the Vikings do not usually allow to start the game, but they've really cleaned it up towards the end. But, yeah, you mentioned they're right in this game if they're able to just contain the Norskis on the offensive glass. And then, obviously, as you mentioned as well, a few unforced errors or turnovers on the Vikings part of things that they'll look to clean up in the second half as well.
And as we look down the score sheet for the Vikings, right now nobody really stands out except for Ray Waller for the Vikings, and he has 10 points. So Waller leading the Vikings with 10. Besides that, really nobody else stands out. Tornahanna has 5. Banfield has 2. Simeon Smith has 2 on a great dump play late in that first half. Ziegler has 3. Jokes has 2, and Fish has a free throw to bat. So really not a whole lot of action from the Vikings offensively here in this first half. Obviously need to step it up as they're trailing by 6.
And we mentioned a team that comes into this one only averaging 53.2 8 points per game, so just shy of that average. So I think we're going to see one of these either seniors or juniors have a nice performance in this second half, and it's what the Vikings are going to need is someone to step up and say, all right, I'll be the one getting the points for this Vikings team in order to come back and win this key conference matchup. Norskies will start with a ball to start this second half, as we mentioned, with a 31-25 lead at the break. 18 seconds on the second half clock, and we're ready to start the second half. Weisbrod will run the point for the Norskies, being guarded by Hanna. Norskies looking to come out in a set to start the first play. Over to Schrader on the top of the key, trying to drive on Banfield. Well defended there. Bonds looking for a back-cutting Magley. Couldn't finish over Wooler, and another rebound there from Hardig. He'll draw the foul going up. Actually, they'll say on the floor. First foul of the half will go to Ray Wooler. First personal on him. Schrader off the back of Banfield, unsuccessful. And it'll be Vikings basketball. Schrader tried going with a little trickery there, throwing it off the back of Banfield. And they'll say it'll be Mount Horeb ball. Norski's unhappy with that call. Jilks swings it over to Ziegler in the corner, guarded by Schrader. Skip pass to Wooler. Now Banfield has it in the corner. Here's Hanna driving with a left. Back to Wooler. Over to Hanna again. Vikings trying to find a way to get in the lane. This tough Norski defense. Here's Banfield. He'll reset the offense. And now Ziegler have it on the top of the key. Well, as Jilks will just pull it from three. No good. Nice defensive possession there for DeForest. Weisbrod initially had it poked away, able to regain it. Now down low to Magley, trying to work on Wooler. Finds a cutting Hardig. Skips it back out. Weisbrod got it from three. 34-25 the score after the Max Weisbrod three-pointer. Banfield now to Wooler. Vikings offense need to figure something out here. Ziegler will skip it. Three-pointer no good for Hanna. Norski's looking to push in transition. Schrader nearly had it poked away. Now finds Weisbrod. Weisbrod to Magley from three. In and out. Vikings will control. As we mentioned in the pregame, two different styles of offense. Vikings will get the rebound, a little bit slower pace, look to run their half-court offense. Norski's get it and go. Banfield finds Ziegler on the high post. Will just pull it over Schrader, and he's got it. Ziegler for two. 34-27 the score, 15-25 left in the second half. Norski's quick to bring the ball up. Schrader working on Banfield. Try the spin move. Banfield defended it well. Weisbrod will now try on Hanna. Finds cross-court pass to Schrader. Schrader looked for Hardig down low, and the Vikings will tie it up. Mount Horeb basketball. Lang will check in for Mount Horeb, in for junior Tyler Banfield. Vikings going to run a set here. Try to get try to get Ziegler a shot. Hanna on the attack, and he'll go up on Hardig, draw the foul. Go to the line, shooting two. How many is that on Hardig now, Blaine?
That's only two.
Second on Hardig.
But that's exactly what the Vikings need to do, is you need to take the ball, drive it, force Hardig to play some defense, And if you miss it, you miss it. If you draw a foul, you're one step closer to having him maybe spend some time on the bench.
No one in foul trouble for either team as of now. Quite a few guys with 2 on each side of the ball, though. Hanna was successful on his first and successful on his second. 34-29 the score. Norski still up. Lang now on Schrader. Schrader looking to drive with the left. Dumps it down to Hardig, who goes up. Swatted away by Jilks. Great timing there by Carter Jilks. Had a little bit of a size disadvantage, but made up for it there with the timing. Inbound pass to Hardig, working on Jilks again. Kick out. Bonds. Shot fake. Now here's Hardig at the high post. They'll skip it over to Weisbrod. Vikings did a great job recovering. Now Weisbrod, as soon as I say that, finds a little seam and goes to the hole for 2. Here's Jilks in the corner, looking to drive baseline on Weisbrod. Skips it over to Ziegler. Owen trying to direct traffic with his head. 3 ball for Wohler, got it again. Ray Wohler for 3 from the top of the key. Cuts it to 4. Skip pass. Weisbrod finds that seam again. Will dump it down this time. Nice shot fake there from Magley. Got Wohler in the air, and he'll go to the line. Shooting 2. Actually, they'll say that was on Jilks as Magley goes 1 of 1.
No, I got to adjust my score sheet. We all thought it was on Waller down low. I think he thought it was on himself as well.
Second one for Magley, up and good. First personal for Carter Jilks. 13:40 left in the game. Vikings trail by 6 to DeForest. Lang, give it over to Ziegler. Hand off, little dribble drive for the Vikings. Hanna over to Lang. Lang now looking to go baseline. And well read by Bonds. Kicked out to Ziegler for 3. He's got it from deep. Owen Ziegler makes it a 1-score game. Vikings fans getting into this one now can sense the momentum slowly swinging in their favor. Kick out to Magley. No good. Vikings with the ball and a chance to tie it. Ziegler will push. Directing traffic once again. Ray Wohler up and good for 2. Timeout, DeForest. 38-37 the score with 12:52 left in the second half. We'll step aside.
The Grand Stay Hotel and Suites is a brand new hotel in Mount Horeb. The Grand Stay caters to business and leisure travelers and is ideal for individuals and families. In a convenient location near Madison, Grand Stay is also a great option for guests visiting neighboring Barneveld or Epic Systems in Verona. We offer clean, comfortable rooms, free hot breakfast, an indoor pool, hot tub, and a 24-hour fitness center. To see pictures, visit grandstaymount.horeb.com, book online, or call 608-437-5200 to make your reservation today.
Now it's time to get back to the Vikings athletic action, brought to you live right here on Wisco Radio.
A 1-point game here in Mount Horeb, 38-37 DeForest leading Mount Horeb. As they now have the ball, Schrader goes up, draws the foul, and gets it to roll in for 2. Go to the line for a 3-point play, but Vikings able to cut it to 1 point before that last play by Schrader.
Foul's going to be on Lang for the Vikings, his second. 40-37, now the score here in Mount Horeb, 12:36 left to go in the game. Schrader's free throw up is good.
Going back to that last play before the timeout, Ziegler was pushing in transition, gave a little head nod to Wohler saying back cut, and found him for the easy 2. Doing a great job distributing the ball. Looking for a three-pointer, and Hannah just a little bit too strong on the pass to Ziegler. Turnover, Mount Horeb. 41-37, Norski's lead. 12-10. Schrader being guarded by Fish, recently checked into the game. Weisbrod left-handed drive. And they're going to get a carry on the Norskis. That's Krieger, they'll say, carried the ball. A couple of unforced errors for both teams we've seen on those last 2 possessions. Here's Fish on the wing. Goes up with the left, can't quite get it to fall. Norskis now on the attack. Nice move there from Weisbrod, but well defended by Hannah. They'll get a hand check on Mount Horeb as Schrader found his way to the hole. Charlie Fish will be the guilty party. 4th team foul on Mount Horeb. Weisbrod looking down low. Nice pump fake there by Hawk, who goes up for 2. And Vikings find themselves down 8 once again. Now Coach Nessheim will take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 45-37 your score, 11:21 left in the second half.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Wisconsin, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Mount Horeb High School. Vikings had it to 1 point here in the second half. The lead by the Norskis was cut down to 1. Norskis with a quick run of their own makes it an 8-point game once again. They're up 45-37, 11-11 left. Here's Jilks on the high post. Kick out Wohler for 3 again, just short. A loose ball fallen on by Lang. They'll call jump ball possession Norskis. And scoreboard must have been incorrect, Blaine, because they just took 2 points off. So only a 6-point lead for the Norskis. I thought 8 seemed like a little bit too.
8 seemed like it came really fast. Looking at my score sheet, it's 37-43, which is what scoreboard has. So I think we're back on track.
Weisbrod tried throwing the lob there, unsuccessful. Now Schrader on the back cut. Risky passing for the Norskies leads to a held ball, and now the Vikings will get it right back. Banfield will run the point for Mount Horeb in their 5-out offense. Hannah finds his way to the hole and unable to convert on the layup. Nice take, just couldn't quite get the finish to go. Now here's Weisbrod, goes up with a reverse. Tipped away on the offensive rebound. Schrader will be the one that controls it. Tried the no-look pass, stolen away by Hannah. Now Ziegler will push. This is knocked away, and the Norskis will get it back. Weisbrod will just pull up in transition, no good. Rebound, tipped loose. And Owen Ziegler will be the one that finally comes out with the rebound. Neither coach is happy with those last few possessions. Some sloppy basketball, if you will. Ziegler now pull from 3. No good. Loose ball, rebounded Norskis.
Katie, you said it exactly. Sloppy possession is exactly what this past 3 minutes of basketball has been here. Both teams need to just kind of settle down as now another scrap on the floor.
Loose ball again will be a foul on DeForest, I believe they'll call it. But it is on Magley, third personal for him. He'll take a seat on the bench. But, yeah, be interesting to see how many turnovers we've had in those past 4 minutes. Banfield will give it over to Thomas, who recently checked in the game for Mount Horeb. Down low, Lang will go up and can't get the roll. We're tipped out. Banfield, kick out Ziegler. No good. Loose ball, rebound Wooler. Wooler to Ziegler again. Vikings will have a chance to reset things. 2 offensive rebounds leads for another opportunity for Mount Horeb. Banfield to Ziegler again, being guarded by Schrader. Now here's Thomas. Back to Banfield. Banfield at the top. Lang has it on the wing. Vikings trying to get some little off-ball screen action, just can't quite find an open player. Thomas gets it back to Ziegler. Thomas now has it in the corner again. He'll drive with the right, back to the left. Tried to go up and under, when I'll fade away and fall a little short of the rim. Norski possession. Still hanging on to that 6-point lead is DeForest, and looks like they'll take a timeout. 43-37 the score in the second half. 8:15 left. We'll step aside and hear a word from our sponsors.
Plain, Wisconsin, the largest selection and the lowest prices on swing sets, basketball hoops, trampolines, backyard courts, sports training products, and much more. Try it first at Plain, Wisconsin, Parmenter Street in Middleton, or plainwisconsin.com.
Dr. Steven Samuelson and Lauren Ta are your local eye care professionals. Any time of year is a great time to schedule your optical exam and your eye care needs. Clear vision starts with healthy eyes, so contact Samuelson Eye Care, 437-3377, to schedule your eye exam today. 437-3377. You'll be glad you did.
Plain, Wisconsin is your local home court headquarters for everything basketball. From driveway hoops to indoor-outdoor home courts, find the perfect addition for your family. Visit PlayInWisconsin.com or stop by Wisconsin's only basketball showroom to see all the features before you buy. Try it first at Play in Wisconsin.
You are listening to an exclusive interview brought to you only by Wisco Radio.
Quick timeout from the Norskis. Has them with the possession of the ball. No one guarding Bonds off the inbound. Misses the rim completely, and the Vikings able to secure the rebound. Caught a break there, did Mount Horeb. Maybe a little bit too wide open was the senior Bonds.
And Cade, one thing to note, we're going on 3 minutes of game time right now where neither team has scored a single point.
Coach Craig Weisbrod not liking what he saw and elected to take the timeout. Here's Thomas on the drive. Strong finish there for the sophomore. 43-39. Vikings able to get on the board after that dry spell. Down low to Schrader, being guarded by Lang. Fails the double, dumps it down. Nice pass to Krieger for 2. Norskis regain their 6-point lead. After finally getting a bucket, giving one right back, it was Mount Horeb. Thomas down low, had it knocked away. Schrader in transition. Easy 2 for him. Up and good. Extends the lead to 8. Under 7 now. Vikings going to have to take care of the basketball if they want to come back from this 8-point deficit. Here's Hannah on the left-hand attack. Corner 3 for Thomas. Short and rebounded by Bonds. Norskis control it again. Schrader working on Lang. Spin move to the hole. Dump down to Krieger again. Poked away by Lang and gathered by Ziegler. Now the Vikings will run some offense with urgency. Down low to Thomas. Good for 2. Nice dish there from the senior Ziegler to the sophomore Thomas. Vikings key defensive possession here now with 6 minutes left, down by 6. No one stayed on Schrader. He'll have an open three. Coach Nessheim unhappy after that last play. A little miscommunication on defense. Vikings weren't sure if they were going to switch that or show and then recover. Thomas driving again. Kick it out to Wooler. Back to Thomas. He'll go up and nearly and one for Thomas. Going to call a blocking foul on the shot.
And you know, Cade, looking at Caden Thomas, you said sophomore, he's been getting some good playing time here for the Vikings. Had that one turnover in the past couple minutes that he's been playing, but other than that, he's been playing some pretty solid basketball down there, getting down low, now getting to the stripe, getting one in for the Vikings. If I was Todd Nessheim, I would be relatively impressed with this sophomore's appearance so far in some of these varsity games this year, and to see what these next 2 years look for him. I would be looking to see Caden Thomas's name be called a couple more times in the future.
And you mentioned sophomores. We've seen a lot from sophomore Ray Wooler tonight as well. 3 3-pointers for the sophomore Wooler, and then Anthony Lang, who's in the game now at a key part in the game for the Vikings. So definitely some young guys who will be a part of this program for years to come. 7-point deficit here with 5:30 left. Down low, Hardig finds a cutting Magley, who goes up for two. 52-43. Vikings have struggled once Hardig is able to get the ball down low. Credit to him for his passing and scoring ability once he gets the ball in a favorable position down in the post. In the corner, Smith, give it over to Ziegler, working on Schrader in the post. Draws the double. Now Smith, mid-range, got it. Nice little pull-up from Simeon Smith, the senior. Vikings defense needs to come up with a few stops here. Nice job defending that on-ball screen. We'll see what they're able to do. Looking down to Hardig again is Schrader, and Lang poked it away. They'll call a reach-in, though. It'll stay with Defo.
Simeon Smith only has 4 points so far this evening for the Vikings, but we saw a beautiful pick and roll there from Simeon Smith at the end of the first half, and a fantastic mid-range jumper from him. So while he doesn't have the numbers to show, he's had a fantastic night and just some good basketball plays so far.
And a lucky play on the inbounds. Magley had it knocked away, able to recover it and go up for two, and once again a 9-point lead for the Norskies.
Yeah, Vikings having a little bit of problems getting anything down low.
And this one's stolen away. Now the Norskies pushing 2-on-1. Weisbrod to the hole for two. We'll see if Coach Nessheim elects to use a timeout. Only 2 timeouts for each team. He will use a timeout. 56-45 the score with 4:02 left in the second half. Vikings trail the Norskies.
Farmers Savings Bank is proud of their community banking tradition. Farmers Savings Bank is committed to providing a high level of customer service and products to enhance the well-being of the communities they serve. Whether it is for a home, farm, land, or business loan, Farmers Savings Bank has money to lend. Be sure to call your local Mount Horeb Farmers Savings Bank today at 437-2265. Farmers Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to Wisco Radio, the leader in Mount Horeb Prep Athletics.
Back here in Mount Horeb, 56-45, DeForest leading. Broadcast brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance, Jared Nelson Agency. Jared Nelson Agency, the proud supporter of Viking Athletics. He's your source for commercial, home, auto, and life insurance. Call 437-4020. Stop by the office at 211 West Main Street in Mount Horeb to protect what matters most. Rural Mutual Insurance, Jared Nelson Agency, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Thank you to Rural Mutual and all of our sponsors able to make this broadcast possible for Wisco Radio. Appreciate your guys' support of Wisco Radio and allow for the capability to watch Mount Horeb Athletics. Shot up and no good for Banfield, and the Norskies control the rebound again. And Vikings slowly finding themselves in a bigger hole after each possession, as here's Weiss brought on the baseline attack. Kick out Bonds for fakes to three, actually, and now will go up. No, travel called. But as I was saying, each possession becoming more and more important. 3:28 left in the second half. Down 11. Some urgency now for this Vikings team to find some ways to cut into this deficit. Ziegler had it knocked away on the reach-in. Norski's pushing in transition. The big man, Hardig, behind the back, up and one. Showing the handles was Hardig, and able to find a cutting Weisbrod. Norski's fans on their feet after that last play from the big man. 58-45 the score now with 3:11. Make that 59 after the three-point play by Weisbrod. Ziegler will bring it up for Mount Horeb. Approaching 3 minutes, Vikings find themselves down 14. Going to have to start scoring quickly. Ziegler over to Banfield. Norski sitting in a 2-3 zone now. Known for running that in the past, but haven't yet to see that tonight. Ziegler thought he had a three. Now we'll try again from deep. In and out. Rebound, Wooler. Had it tipped, and loose ball will go off the Norskis. Mount Horeb ball.
Vikings down 13 here, 59-45 through 33, left to go here in the half. Like you're saying earlier, Cade, Vikings have to score quick.
Banfield has it. Vikings need to figure out something quick here. A lot of time ticking off, precious time. Banfield will look to drive over to Wooler. Nearly had it knocked away, and now it is stolen away. Magley in transition, up and good for two. 61-45, DeForest extends their lead. Some solid defense down the stretch for the Norskis. Ziegler will pull from deep, rings in and out. Loose ball gathered by DeForest. And we can expect a long possession here from the Norskis as Schrader will bring it out and run some clock. Bonds guarded by Ziegler. 140 now. Vikings not electing to trap or anything, so. Well, here comes a trap, and they'll get the foul on Banfield. 1-1 now after that seventh team foul on Mount Horeb, and the Vikings will sub out their starters. An impressive second half from this Norskies team, specifically their defense. As Schrader's good on the first of the 1-1. Now the Norskies will sub out their starters as well. But credit to DeForest. They were tough defensively in the second half and held the Vikings to, I believe, only 20 points in this second half. Of course, pending the rest of the outcome of the game, but now extending their lead even more. Schrader, good on the second one. With 1:25 left. Here's Ackerman in the corner for three. Loose ball. Schrader will gather it. 63-45. We'll see what happens at the end of this one. Baseline attack, no good for Wallace. Vikings now pushing, and a timeout to get some subs in for Mount Horeb, I believe. Tough conference loss for Mount Horeb. Norski's just able to slowly pull away towards the end of this second half.
And, Kate, you're exactly right. DeForest able to hold Mount Horeb to 20 points here in this second half. 63-45 the current score is. Another turnover is going to be attributed to the Vikings, and that's really been the story tonight. Has been turnovers and it's been offensive rebounds for DeForest. So, there are going to be a couple things that Nessheim and the Vikings are going to look to continue to improve upon as you go through practice and look towards the next couple games.
Vikings' next game will be the Badger Challenge. I believe that is at Edgewood High School. That would be on either Friday or Saturday, as Paul Matthews 3, no good. Rebound Norskies. They'll now push in transition, but Norskies will come away victorious with this one. Stay in at least tied for first place. As now Madden Thome has it over to Matthews. Vikings will fall to 4-3 in conference and 5-6 overall. DeForest moving to 9-2 overall, and as I mentioned, 6-1 in conference, keeping their first place tie with both Wanakee and Reedsburg. 15 seconds left in this one. 63-45 the score. Vikings try to score one more time. Thomas, little pull-up, no good, tipped away, and knocked out of bounds with 5 seconds left. As Norski's looking to still run some offense, maybe trying to extend it to a 20-point lead. Knocked away by Matthews on the inbound. Coming up, we'll have a brief Wisco Radio post-game report, go over some of the stats from the game. As this three-pointer's no good. Final score, DeForest Norski 63, Mount Horeb 45. As I mentioned, coming up, we'll have a brief Wisco Radio post-game report with a quick recap and some stats from the game. Thank you for tuning into Wisco Radio's coverage of Mount Horeb basketball. We'll be right back with the Wisco Radio post-game report.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
The Jared Nelson Agency is a proud supporter of Viking athletics. Known as the top farm insurer in Wisconsin, the Jared Nelson Agency is also your source for commercial, home, auto, and life insurance. Call 437-4020 or stop by the office at 211 West Main Street, Mount Horeb, to protect what matters most.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
This is Wisco Radio.
It's an exciting time to work at Land's End in Dodgeville. Our distribution and call centers are hiring for first and second shift holiday part-time jobs. We offer flexible schedules in a variety of positions. Plus, you'll get access to our amazing employee discount, on-site clinic, and fitness center, and so much more. Starting wage is $13.25 to $14.25 an hour, with premium wages up to $21.38 per hour for select peak dates. In addition, we offer weekend and evening premium pay. Apply today at landsend.com/jobs. That's landsend.com/jobs.
You are listening to the Mount Horeb Vikings on Wisco Radio.
Welcome back to Wisco Radio. Cade Johnson alongside Wisco Radio boss, owner, statistician, pretty much everything.
Really does it all, yeah.
The heart of Wisco Radio, Blaine Bestel, who's going to go over a quick stat recap from the game. As we mentioned, Vikings falling to the Norskies here at home, and now moving to 4-3 overall in conference.
Yeah, thanks, Cade, and thanks for coming out tonight and helping us call the game. As the normal crew has finals, we want to give them a break, but we also want to give you some coverage of this big Badger North Conference game. As we look down the stat sheet, Carter Jilks ends the Vikings night with 2 points. Charlie Fish has 1. Hannah has 7. Banfield has 2. Smith has 4. Ray Waller leads the Vikings tonight with 15. Owen Ziegler has 8. And rounding out the Vikings, 45 points will be Caden Thomas with 6. Now going down the Norskies stat side, that's going to be 63 points total for them. 9 from Bonds. Weisbrod has 13 and leads the Norskies this evening. Krieger has 2. Grundle has 2. Schrader has 10. Hawk has 2. Winters has 1. Magley has a 12-point tie, second leading in the Norskies tonight. And Hardig also has 12 to end out the Norskies 63. Once again, final score tonight, 45-63. Vikings lose over DeForest. Next Wisco Radio game is going to be the Badger Challenge, as we were saying earlier. That's going to be in Edgewood, most likely a Saturday game for the Vikings on the 25th, although pending on how things go in the conference, could be a Friday night game on the 24th. We'll keep you updated either way on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to follow for all of those details. We'll be sure to keep you updated on when the next game is. And then back here next will be the boys as they take on River Valley at home. You'll get the normal crew back at it. Colin and Evan will be on the call for Wisco Radio on the 27th of January. We want to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's broadcast: Farmers Savings Bank, First Weber, Mark Nortman Agency, Grand Stay Hotel and Suites here in Mount Horeb, Kittleson Landscaping Incorporated, Mount Horeb Chiropractic, Midwest Prototyping, Plain, Wisconsin, Samuelson Eye Care, Land's End, and Rural Mutual Insurance, the Jared Nelson Agency. Once again, final score here from Mount Horeb, 63-45. Vikings drop 1. Next game is going to be at Edgewood for the Badger Challenge.
Once again, thanks for letting me come back, Blaine, to call both this game and the girls' game against Baraboo. Always a pleasure, and I appreciate the opportunity I had throughout high school to work for Wisco Radio and for all you guys do for Mount Horeb Athletics.
Well, it's good to have you back, Caden. I'm sure as we get through into the season, maybe the kids need a break or got something going on. We have a whole host of crew of people to call on. Definitely good to have you on the call tonight. Once again, the final score from Mount Horeb, 63-45. Next game for Wisco Radio will be the 24th or the 25th. Thank you for tuning in to Wisco Radio. Have a great night, and we'll hope to hear from you soon.